So what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Now I know I was gonna be consistent, but the last video I was working on at the exact same time I was supposed to be consistent and uploaded it, the file was corrupt. So yeah, don't worry, I will be consistent after this. Just hope my files don't corrupt. So yeah, as you've seen the title, today we're gonna be playing as Fushiguro Toji, who's a major character in the season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not gonna spoil much. He doesn't have any cursed power, cursed abilities, but he's pretty strong physically. And he's also a assassin, a mercenary, a hitman. So I'm him in Minecraft. So I also have a hit list which I need to eliminate by the end of this video. So yeah, before all of that, I have 3 special cursed weapons. A sword which does a lot of damage, Playful Cloud, which is basically a weaker version of the sword but works pretty fast. And I also have the inverted Cursed Spear of Heaven, which basically disables everyone's cursed ability if they get hit with it. Meaning if I hit someone with it, they can't use their cursed ability. If I hit Gojo with it, yeah, I can actually hit him. As Gojo, everyone knows he has infinity, which means you can't hit him. But with this, I can hit him. And you know what, let's just test this. And boom, okay, oh shit, yeah, so I'll have to kill a couple of cursed spirits and rank up before I can do that. So yeah, I'm gonna skip that part because that's a lot of boring stuff, and I'm just gonna cut to the part where I'm all, geared up and I fire the rank. And after reaching that rank, I began fighting with the cursed spirit Dagon, one of the first people on my hit list. And let's just see, ranking up and basically becoming a special grade cursed sorcerer while having the physical ability 5, which basically means I have regeneration, top tier strength and top tier resistance. Yeah, it's quite hard for him to do even any damage to me. As you can see, my hearts don't even go down. So yeah, he has water abilities and he can shoot sharks, which normally would be pretty bad for me, as not only does he have area of effect and his sharks can do a lot of damage. With how strong I am, it's no problem for me. After beating Dagon, I began fighting with Suguru Geto, who was just near when the fight was happening. He was actually doing damage to me, and his ability is that he can basically control cursed spirits. So not only was I fighting him, I was also fighting an annoying rainbow dragon who did no damage to me but gave me knockback like 10 or something, and he could spawn in a giant eyeball monster which also knocked me pretty back and did some decent damage. I was trying to get in some hits, but the rainbow dragon kept blocking me and Suguru kept spamming that one eyeball monster move. So yeah, it was quite annoying. I then got him into the water because here his eyeball monster is kind of weak since in the water, as soon as he spawns it, his eyeball monster only works on the ground. So it just, works on the ground below and I don't take any actual damage from it. So yeah, my plan was to keep him in the water and stay away from his rainbow dragon. But yeah, that wasn't working at all, since his rainbow dragon basically spawns next to him if he gets too far, kind of like a Minecraft dog, but a very brutal dog, one who can basically kill you and probably your entire generation. So yeah, I was trying to get in as many hits as I can on Suguru Geto, but he kept maintaining his distance since he has range attacks while I don't, since the best I can do is just hit you with a sword. So it was kinda getting annoying. I tried to go down in the water to get him, but he used this eyeball monster again. He was also doing pretty good physically, but I finally beat him, and thus Suguru Geto and Dagon were off the list, which leaves Yuta Okotsu and a few others left. I then used this cursed spirit manipulation little, but not that much. I didn't use it in any of the fights, I just wanted to test it. I then encountered a Sukuna finger skeleton which basically had a machine gun and was quite annoying. I was trying to get close to him, but the machine gun annoyed me. I got a Sukuna finger and threw it away. I then encountered the Sukuna Domain expansion, But I also encountered someone else as well, Jogo. I decided to take him on next. But he was doing decent damage and kept me at range with his fire attacks, so that was pretty annoying. I was also careful of one thing, his move Maximum Meteor, in which he basically launches up in the sky and throws down a meteor, and it has incredible range and did a lot of damage to me. I then got back up and began looking for Jogo, but instead Sukuna began chasing.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
After escaping Sukuna, I encountered my next target, Hanami, another part of the cursed farm and another cursed spirit. He could control wood and create wooden spikes, and he could throw yellow energy balls, which were really annoying as the energy balls didn't do a lot of damage but kept me far, and the wooden spikes could stack up as if I get hit to it one, get knocked back and fall into another one, they stack up the damage and can do a lot of damage to me. But I was also doing a lot of damage to Hanami, as Hanami doesn't have that many moves. All it has are 2 wooden spike moves and 1 energy blast move. I was trying my hardest to dodge his attacks, and at one point I got pretty low and decided to heal up, as yeah, it's a cursed spirit, man, and I'm basically just a normal human with very high physical attack and some good durability. But still, it's just a human against the goddamn cursed spirit, so I didn't have an advantage. Although I was trying my hardest too, and I was trying to get him low enough where I could basically just use my inverted curse spear of heaven so he couldn't use his curse technique and then end him. But yeah, that wasn't going to happen as he kept me at range. I eventually got him into the water so I could basically, kill him in water, as he couldn't use his spikes in water, and his only cursed energy weapon ability which I had to be wary of in water was his energy ball, which he was using very rarely. I prevented him from getting onto the land, as getting on the land and fighting him would be quite annoying, his whole spikes and shit. Eventually I hit a black flash which was very powerful and could do a lot of damage to Hanami, but still he didn't go down, and some other minor, I don't know what it was even, a small cursed user I guess, tried to fight me, but I eventually beat him and focused back again on Hanami, and it was just me hitting him until he died. After that I immediately began fighting another Jogo. I had him in the water exactly where I wanted him to be, because his fire couldn't do that much damage to me, as I didn't take any burn damage, since there isn't. I just forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, he dropped a maximum meteor and threw some insects at me. Goddamn disgusting, man. I was trying to get close to him to do a lot of damage, but he would either get flung back so much that I would have to swim again, or throw fire at me, or some other move. Eventually, he spawned in his domain expansion, which was doing a lot of damage to me, as not only was he still shooting attacks at me, I was also burning in the domain. Thankfully, his domain stopped and I hadn't taken that much damage thanks to my golden carrots. And I had again followed up with the same plan. Hit him and then hit him again. This time he wasn't doing that much damage to me, and he spawned in another domain. This one was doing a lot more damage for some reason. I don't even know why. Maybe it was because he was stacking his other attacks, like throwing fire at me still, but this one ended very quickly as well. I was trying to get close to him to finish him off, but he continued his fire attacks, and eventually I killed him and wore his head. I then began fight with the other cursed spirit, Mahito. By then, the only people left on my hit list were Mahito, Okotsu Yuta, Sukuna, and finally Gojo Satoru himself. While fighting with Mahito, I hit another black flash and he spawned his domain, which didn't do that much damage to me surprisingly. It was maybe because I was hitting my golden carrots constantly, but who knows. I was then trying to keep in close range with him because he didn't have that many good close range attacks. And his main strongest move, other than his domain expansion, was a long range attack. He kept spawning minions though, which was really annoying as his minions had insane knockback, similar to Suguru Geto's Rainbow Dragon. But I was trying my hardest to keep a close with him and just spam my sword. Eventually it worked and I exercised Mahito as well. This only left the three strongest, Yuta Okotsu, King of Sukuna, and the strongest Jujutsu soldier of all, Gojo Satoru. When I was looking for Yuta, I saw a giant hollow purple performed by Gojo, which really scared me. I then found Yuta and eventually began my fight with him. He spawned Rika, basically, I don't know what to even call it. Anyone who has watched the movie realizes what I'm talking about. And I began fight with him. He really didn't have that many moves, but he could replicate Curse Speech, and that could blast me away or do some great damage to me. And he was pretty good at sword fighting as well. I was trying my best to keep him far from me using my sword, basically kind of a ranged attack, as you can see. I was trying my hardest to fight with him, but he had just insane speed, and his curse speech was also annoying me. Rika surprisingly wasn't doing anything though during the entire battle, which I'm pretty sure made it a lot more easier for me. I had to run away at many times to heal up cause he was doing damage at an insane rate. Eventually I managed to kill him. I then encountered Yuji Itadori and slayed him so Sukuna would come out, and he did. Sukuna immediately began I don't even know what I was saying. Let's just say he was beating the shit out of me cause he was doing damage quite fast just with his melees, not even with his cursed abilities. I eventually dropped Yuta's sword, which I had in my inventory as a trophy of me defeating him, and I quickly got it back and began fighting with Sukuna again. I didn't want to get far from him as his fire attack could do a lot of damage to me, and he could also use his cutting attacks. But I eventually had to go far as I had to heal a little. But in that time, he lowered my health a lot, and he eventually spawned his domain, which I had to run from. I then quickly got back, and he immediately got my health below half. I eventually healed up and began the fight again and got him in a hole where he spawned his domain, which wasn't doing that much damage to me. I slayed him, and finally the final person, Gojo Satoru. He immediately spawned his domain expansion, which basically made me see a PNG for a very long time. This PNG had traumatized me after this video. He then hit a black flash and eventually trapped me in the blue ball and then threw me off with reversal red. He then spawned the PNG domain again, and somehow raw cords were getting in my inventory. I then got him in the water and then began the fight with him, and eventually I beated him. So yeah, Fushiguro Toji can easily destroy every mob in the Jujutsu Kaisen mod. Subscribe.